What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to cover another ridiculous team or setup. For this one we're going to be focusing on another new EISO that can be found in the store. There's a little bit of a trend going on there, but this empowered ISO 8 is none other than the Inceptive Intangibility EISO, and I believe it only goes for 10 gold, so it's one of the more affordable ones. Now this one is a little bit odd in my opinion. First of all, intangibility is kind of working odd these days. I maybe have noticed it more with the Force of Life Blade, but sometimes that enemy agent just never comes out of it. Even when he does come out of it, he goes right back into it. And as far as I know, there's supposed to be some sort of cooldown period where they cannot become intangible again. But even moving past that, this video is going to cover one of my major concerns with the EISO, and that'll be follow-up attacking while intangible. Now first of all, if you're having problems with intangible period, whether it be that, ethereal, phased, let me just say you should probably add something like the unavoidable EISO. Put that on a blaster and they're going to hit right through it. The other good news is when it comes to something like the Smothering Shadow, it's also going to be applied. So it's not the end of the world. However, my issue with it, and what becomes really ridiculous with this team, is the fact that it'll continually do follow-up attacks while intangible. Now all of these buffs, or whatever you want to call them, say removed after attacking. So yeah, that's fine if Rocket Raccoon wants to shoot his gun, but he's going to be leaving intangible, leaving ethereal. So he can fire, but he also makes himself a target. That's not the case with these follow-up teams. Once you get the ball rolling, your entire team could be ethereal, and you'll still decimate the enemy team. It has happened. Here you're going to see a ton of damage from Spider-Man Knowhere, who he himself cannot be hit. Picture this, if you get lucky and say you have the Grace Note on, and you preemptively counter, or you have the Black Roscoe, and it goes off, you can win with this team while not being able to be hit by normal attacks, and you could have literally just passed every turn. I kind of wanted to do that, but it didn't look like we were getting quite that lucky, so I had to initiate a bit. But it would be pretty hilarious just sitting there, pressing recharge, your entire team intangible, and you win the match. It honestly can happen. That's what's ridiculous about it. I do think the AI has a bit more luck going ethereal, so it makes it even worse when they're using them. And this EISO, by the way, even though it says begins intangible, in the match itself it says chance to become intangible when an enemy attacks. So that basically could happen all the time. And it does. Like I said, you can remove it, it'll come right back. It's seemingly up all the time for the AI. And I know it's driving some people crazy. But like I said, add Ethereal Strike, use the unavoidable EISO, dot them up, there's plenty of ways around it. You can then of course use psychic and magic attacks. And there is that mystical EISO which makes a character's attacks magic, so just keep that in mind. Still, at the end of the day, I think the biggest issue that probably should be looked at is the follow-up attacks while intangible. So here we see Rockets not getting hurt by Spitfire. Unfortunately, the Black Roscoe didn't go off. Most of these Blaster E3 agents though do have the unavoidable EISO, so they do end up hitting. Oh, and with all these Blaster E3 agents, I'm really thinking about making a triple tactician team again. You know, make them pay. If they're not using Damon and purging your team, then they're in serious trouble. But yeah, there should be some kind of consequences or pushback for all these Blaster agents. Bring those tacticians out. Now like usual, we do want to go ahead and show this team one more time, and we're actually facing a mirror match. The agent though does have the unavoidable EISO, that's the only difference. Of course, Spider-Man Knowhere and Rocket have Inceptive Intangibility. So there it is. This should be a pretty good example of the most ridiculous part of this EISO. So let's see those phased follow-ups. Now I did think we need to get the ball rolling by maybe placing flanked, but the enemy agent preemptively counters us and they get it going first. Fortunately, Spider-Man Noir does go intangible right away. And we're not just going to sit here and not fire back. However, we're going to have a Black Roscoe fight as well. The biggest key though is going to be our Spider-Man Noir doing massive damage, all while not being able to be hit himself. At least not by conventional means. So ultimately, that's going to be the key to this win. In fact, he helps take down the enemy agent, and he's not done yet. He nearly knocks out Spider-Man Noir and Rocket by himself. And there you have it. He's still ethereal / intangible. Oh, and one last thing, now that agent's out of the way, no one can even hurt him. I'll just leave him in intangible. We'll use him for follow-up attacking only. But let's be honest, the fight's almost over and we don't really need him. But against an opponent that maybe had more health or a different setup, that would have been perfect. That's it though, that's going to be our look at the Inceptive Intangible EISO. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.